Welcome everyone to the most cutthroat game in all of Westeros. Forget courtly intrigue and whispered plots. This is about armies, strategy, and total conquest. Today we're going to break down exactly how you play and win Risk Game of Thrones.
You know, Cersei Lannister really wasn't kidding. In this game, victory is everything. So we're here to give you the battle plan, the absolute blueprint for leading your house, crushing your enemies, and planting your banner firmly on the Iron Throne. Let's get right into it.
So, here's our plan of attack. First, we'll get the lay of the land, what this war is all about. Then, we'll jump into your first campaign with skirmish mode. After that, we'll cover the core rules of battle. Then, we'll escalate to the full-blown war, Dominion mode. And finally, we'll talk about how you forge your legacy and claim victory.
All right, first things first. Every great war has a reason. So let's talk about why the Seven Kingdoms are tearing themselves apart and what exactly everyone's fighting for.
Okay, so here's the deal. King Robert Baratheon is dead, and his death has left a huge power vacuum. The Iron Throne is up for grabs, and with no clear successor, the great houses of Westeros, yep, that's you, are calling their banners. It is total all-out war.
Now, you can't rule Westeros without winning a few battles first, right? So let's talk about the perfect place to start, the fast, furious, and focused skirmish mode. This is your gateway to conquest.
Think of skirmish mode as your personal boot camp. It's a much faster, more streamlined version of the game that gets you right into the action. You're going to learn the absolute fundamentals, how to get more troops, and how to invade enemy lands, without all the complex stuff we'll get to in a bit. Trust me, it's the best way to get a feel for the fight.
So this is the most important thing to know about skirmish. You are not trying to conquer the whole map. You're playing for points, and you're on a timer. Somewhere in the deck is the Valor Morghulis card. When that card gets drawn, the game just stops. Pencils down. Then you count up your points for every territory, castle, and port you hold. Whoever has the most wins. Simple as that.
And getting started is super quick. You just grab the right components, roll a die to see who goes first, and pick your favorite house. Then you deal out some cards to figure out where everyone starts, place your armies, and shuffle that special endgame card into the deck. And boom, the war for Westeros has begun.
Okay, your armies are on the board, the banners are raised. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty, the heart of the game. What you actually do on your turn.
Every single turn you take is going to follow these 4 simple steps. First, you get fresh troops. That's reinforce. Second, the fun part. You attack. That's invade. Third, you get to shuffle your armies around a bit. That's maneuver. And last, if you won at least one battle, you get a reward. You draw a new card.
All right, reinforcements. They're the lifeblood of your war machine. At the very start of your turn, you figure out how many new armies you get. It's based on 3 things: how many territories you have, whether you control a whole colored region, which gives you a huge bonus, and cashing in sets of cards. It's simple. More land literally equals more power.
And now, for the main event, Invasion. This is where dice get rolled and legends are born. It's a pretty straightforward system. The attacker, you, will roll up to 3 red dice, and the defender gets to roll up to 2 black dice.
So here's how it works. You declare an attack from one of your territories into a neighbor's. You both decide how many dice to roll based on your army sizes. Then, you both roll. You compare the single highest die from each roll. Whoever rolled lower loses an army. And here's the key. On a tie, the defender wins. It pays to be dug in. You just keep rolling until someone's wiped out or the attacker decides to fall back.
So, after all the fighting is done for your turn, you get one final strategic move. It's called the maneuver. You can move as many armies as you want from one of your territories to an adjacent one you also control. This is so important for setting up your next turn. You can either shore up a weak border or create a giant doom stack of an army ready for your next big push.
So, you've mastered the skirmish. You've tasted blood and victory. You think you're ready? Good. Because now it's time to play the real Game of Thrones. Welcome to Dominion.
All right, throw out what you knew about winning. In Dominion, the entire goal changes. This isn't about having the most points when time runs out. No, this is about absolute rule. You need to be the very first player to get 10 victory points. But, and this is a huge but, you can only win if you are also holding your original home castle, your seat of power. To pull this off, Dominion gives you new tools. And the first one is cold, hard cash. Gold dragons. You'll earn gold at the end of your turn for the lands and ports you control, and you'll spend it on everything from game-changing advantage cards to activating the special abilities of your house's leaders. Wealth is power.
And what would this war be without its most famous faces, right? In Dominion, every house gets 4 character cards. Think people like Robb Stark or Tyrion Lannister. Each one has a totally unique, often game-breaking ability that can completely flip the script on a critical battle if you use it at just the right moment.
You can also spend that gold at a marketplace to buy Maester cards. These are powerful, one-shot abilities. But the best part is, you keep them secret from your opponents. You can use them to spring a trap, win a battle you should have lost, or pull off some other clever move your enemies will never see coming.
So, you might be asking, how do I get those 10 victory points? Well, mostly it comes from these, objective cards. You'll have secret missions you're trying to accomplish. Things like control all castles in the north, or hold 5 ports at once. Completing these objectives is your main path to victory.
So the core of your turn, reinforce, invade, maneuver, that all stays the same. But Dominion adds a few crucial steps after all your fighting is done. This is when you'll refresh your characters, spend your gold on new cards, and then, as the very last thing you do, you check if you completed an objective and get to claim those sweet, sweet victory points.
Okay, we've gone over the skirmishes and the all-out wars. Let's wrap this all up and look at the bottom line, how you actually forge your legacy and sit on the Iron Throne.
So let's break it down one last time. In skirmish, it's easy. The game ends, you count up points, high score wins. But Dominion, it's a race to 10 victory points, with one massive, ironclad rule. You must control your own seat of power. If an enemy kicks you out of your home castle, you cannot win. I don't care if you have 20 points, you can't win. Let me say that again. Defend your home at all costs.
So there you have it. The rules of war are laid out, the armies are ready, and the great game is about to begin. There's really only one question left. The realm is waiting. Which house will you lead to victory?